offering, but because it's a shlamim, it's still valid. She says that we're going to differ with you on this. You compare it to a chatas, we say it's a shlamim, and we compare it to a private shlamim. So therefore, Tani Ksherim, the Tani Levi, because Levi taught, he teaches this about an obligation offering of a nazir. That V'shar Shalmi Nazir, Sheshachten Shleikim Mitzvasan, it says Ksherim, V'le'al Ba'alim Shem Chavim, Nechalam Liyam V'lai Leveintun and Le'lechem V'le'Izraya. That the nazir brings a bunch of different sacrifices. One of the sacrifices was a shlamim. So if he brings the shlamim for the wrong intention, or for the wrong age, according to Rashi's other pshat, it's still valid. So you see, even though it's an obligation shlamim, because he has to finish his nazirus, but nevertheless it's compared to a regular shlamim, and that's proof for Levi. Meisvei. Kumar has a question. Asham ben Shana. If there's a guilt offering that's 1 year old, Vehevi ben Shtayim, but you bring instead a 2-year-old.
I don't know. So what is this? So there's a prescribed asham that you're supposed to bring, which is a 1-year-old.
Right. Rashi says that it's either a nazir that becomes tamei, brings a asham that's 1 year, or he's a Metzaira. That's also Asham Naziris and Asham Metzaira. There's 1 year. However, an Asham Gezelis or Asham Eilis, that's 2 years. Rashi says that if it says in the pasuk Keves, a sheep, that means it's 1 year. If it says an Ayel, a ram, that means it's 2 years already. Okay. Or Ben Shtayim, you're meant to bring a Ben Shtayim, a 2-year-old. Baby Ben Shana, and you brought a 1-year-old. I say 1 year, it means within the first year. So it's psulim. Though that's invalid. And it's got to be burnt. Aval oilas nazir va'ilas yeledes va'ilas mitzayir shayu b'nei shtei shana b'shachtim it's ksherim. However, the oila of a nazir and a yeledes and a mitzayir, over there it's supposed to be 1 year old. And instead, he brought a 2-year-old. It's still kosher. Kloli shel davar, the general rule is kol kosher ba'ilas nadavar kosher ba'ilas chayva. If it would have been a voluntary oila, it would have been kosher. So it's kosher also, even though it's an obligatory oila by one of those cases. However, b'chol pasal b'chatas, anything that's invalid for a chatas is pasal b'asham, is going to be pasal for an asham, chutz mishalei l'shmai, except asham. We're going to go with the majority of the opinions that say asham is different than a chatas, and if it's brought for the wrong intention, it's still valid. But age-wise, it's going to be invalid. Chatas and asham will be the same. So, it's a question on Rabbi Yitzchak, because here we're seeing that we're comparing a voluntary sacrifice to an obligatory sacrifice. Rabbi Yitzchak says that you don't do that. So the Gemara says, "Haitana tana de Levihu." It's not a question. This goes according to the opinion that argues on Rabbi Yitzchak. It goes to according to Levi. Okay. Rashi asks, why were we more strict by an asham than by an oila in this case? Even if it's Levi, but an asham should have been more. You could have been
less strict. You're saying than
by an oila. You compare it to a donation, oila. So let's be more lenient by an asham. Rashi says that there is no donation asham to compare it to. Oila has donation and it has obligatory. So we take the obligatory ones. We say we'll be lenient just like a donation one. But an asham doesn't have that option, so we compare it to a chatas instead, which has some stringencies. Okay.
But in general, a chatas is more stringent than an oila?
Yeah. Well, regarding
it has to be eaten versus been burnt.
Yeah, but regarding shalei lashma, regarding if it's brought for the wrong intention, the chatas has some stringencies, and over here, a chatas that's the wrong age is puzzle.
Right.
Okay.
Is there ever a case where chatas that the wrong age is mutter? Are we saying that there is a case where it's okay?
No, saying that there's not.
So whether it's a nazir or a Metzera or whatever, it has to be that particular thing.
Okay, it's only by the Eily that has the donation that has those leniencies. Tashema. Come in here. The Tani Levi. Levi taught. Asham Nazir, Asham Mitzayra, Sheshachtan Shalei Lishman, it's Ksherin. If these Asham are slaughtered Shalei Lishma, we're going according to that opinion, that it's kosher. However, V'layol Bailam Shum Chayva. However, the owners need to bring another sacrifice, like always. Shachtan Mechusar Zman, V'bailim. If you brought it too early, let's say the owner was supposed to wait 7 days by the Nazir, he was supposed to become purified. He didn't wait till the end, and he slaughtered it, the sacrifice. Or it was too old, and he slaughtered it. Psulim. V'im isa, and if we're going to accept the Bei Levi, if we're going to accept that what Levi taught, that you can always learn from a donation offering. So ligmar mishlamim, let's learn from mishlamim. Now, the logic here isn't perfect because we already understood that you're not going to learn asham from mishlamim, but the Gemara is just asking it. So the Gemara answers shlamim mishlamim gamar. Yes, a shlamim you would actually learn from a shlamim, but a asham mishlamim lay gamar. But you're not going to learn an asham from a shlamim. V'i gamar shlamim mishlamim. But if you do learn a shlamim from a shlamim, so ligmar nami asham me asham. So why don't you learn an asham from a different asham? And asham nazir v'asham mitzayra. Let's learn those two, Miyasham Gzelis, Vasham Eilis, which those have a different age. Those are 2 years. And you brought the Yasham Nazir and Asham Mitzayra at a 2-year-old. Well, let's learn that from the Asham Gzelis, Vasham Eilis, which is meant to be 2 years. Or Yasham Gzelis, Vasham Eilis, Miyasham Nazir, Vasham Mitzayra, do the opposite. You brought the other ones that are meant to be 1 year, that are meant to be 2 years. You brought it as a 1 year, and the other Asham is a 1 year. So Amar Rav Simi Barashi, Don in Davar B'Shlei B'Chsheir, Midavar Shlei B'Chsheir. We're not learning something that's done incorrectly from something else that's how it's supposed to be. What we're learning is something that's done incorrectly from something else that's done incorrectly that's still valid. But you don't learn something that's those asham, those 2 asham are meant to be 1 year. It's not that if it's brought for as 1 year, it's valid. The way lechatchila is that it's 1 year. So what we're trying to do is like the Eily we were learning before, that it's still valid if it would be a 1 year or a 2 year. What was it meant to be? It was meant to be a certain age or whichever. And you were bringing it the wrong one, but it was still valid. So because as a donation it would have been valid, as an obligation it's also valid. But we can't learn from something else that lechatchila is supposed to be like that. Gemara says, V'lai, you don't do that. We do that. V'hatanya, there's a brisa. Minayin liyoytze. How do you know that something that leaves the temple, Shem Allah, that if it's then brought up on the altar, lo yerid, that you don't take it off the altar once it's brought up. Sharei yoytze kasher b'bama. Because we find precedent for this by a bama, where it's allowed to be outside the temple by a bama, and that's lechatchila. That's not if you brought it out. It was a bama. It was during that time when bamas were permissible. So the Gemara says, Tana azes teres eila riba samachla. That is not learning it really from a bama. It's really learning it from a pasuk. It's just using a bama as an example. It's just a smachta, or it's a siman to help you remember this. But it's really learning that from a pasuk. But really, we would never learn something that a b'di'evid from something else that's lechatchila like that. We would learn a b'di'evid from another b'di'evid that's kosher. Okay.